I hadn't gone live.
You said all that and
Hey team, how we going? I thought I was live the whole time. I've been talking here for forever about all sorts of things like tomorrow's lotto numbers and etc. But you've missed out on those. We're watching the ladies driver video as we do a countdown for 2 3/4 minutes as we prepare to go live. We see Fugly's there. We see that Daz is there and fought the law, but the law hasn't won yet. We've got Davey Cruikshank there, who went from 1 platoon to 7 platoon and will stay with 7 platoon. We've got Nicole King, the newest member of Patreon. Fantastic to have you there. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've got Zach Cook looking for a position in August. Guys, what this is going to do, this streaming starting soon, just gives you a chance to basically just push around your seat, get yourself comfortable. You know, a lot of people are just getting off work, a lot of study. You know, we've even got people preparing for their Army Reserve night tomorrow night. We've got Tristan and Aussie VB there. Now, that's a filthy tasting beer, but I've had more of it than any other brand. And we've got Giuliano Sticker. Sounds like a beautiful garlic bread. What do you got, Lauren? Today we saw a fantastic stream from you.
Oh, thank you. It didn't happen, as you know. It was a bit nerve-wracking using the new setup, but thanks to you teaching me how to use Streamlabs, I think we do okay for a pair of boomers.
Yeah, pretty well. Pretty
Yep.
well.
There's some new names in chat today. There's a guy called Wow is here.
I'm amazed. Is that
Yep.
World of Warcraft right there?
Yeah, and there's someone here, Finley. He was looking for a engineer. Sometimes we get engineers popping in, Finley.
Yeah. Hold fast, we call them. You couldn't fix the mess that's happening on the screen right now.
Yeah, exactly. But Zach called Simon, all the usual people. Jay is here. Patson's here. Daz, of course. Ben Harris is here, but he's watching it for a friend. That's okay.
That's
don't have
okay.
to be nuts to watch.
Well, you can make sure you subscribe for yourself, mate. It'll be, we'll answer any question you ask, mate.
Yeah, come for your friend and stay for the community. That's what I think. George is here. Kieran is here. John O'Greg. There's Wakey was, who I autocorrect always get his name wrong for me.
Look, Wakey Wise has gone out and slammed out there straight away 6,000 shekels worth of viewers if we were to be monetised for this. So fantastic, mate. Thank you very much. And Anutsu Cow. Hope you heard that one. That was all for you, sir. Thank you very much. I'll buy some off chicken with that one.
We choose truth over facts.
Here we go, man. Here we are. So, team, this is us. It's Kaz and Lauren streaming for you on this Monday chilly night. For those in the USA, it's starting to get a little bit warmer, which is not good because that's when the most of their gang violence occurs. For those that didn't know, we've got a little bit of a stream here for you tonight. We've got some sad news, or some, what would we call it? Some celebration of life, and that is by special request from Mr. Bryce. We'll start that one off tonight, and that is the Lest We Forget that's going out to Herbie, Purple Poppy recipient, the work dog that was killed in Afghanistan, along with Snowy Jacob Morland and also Darren Smith. And that's from Steve Bryce. Lest we forget to those lads, and they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. And because of Steve Bryce, we did tonight. We said their names. Tristan Bailey, another name that we should all know, a beautiful little girl in the USA who had a life horribly shortened by a little scumbag who's probably going to lose his life very soon in an adult prison. And we've got a story coming up about that, but not tonight. You know, to her and her family, tip of the hat, love and respect, mate. And your pain is now over. Your parents has just begun, and so is the little scumbags. Michael Osborne just subscribed. Osborne, born in Australia. Get it? Me too. Hashtag me too. Great to have you here, mate. Ask a question in chat and we'll answer it thumbs up, hands of colour tribute to Mr. Osborne.
Yeah, welcome.
I thought it said Michael Jordan's here.
What?
You know what they say about big feet? More real estate to scratch. What else? We got Mr. P here. D-Day World War II. Was that today?
Hey, there's Trey O on channel.
Treyo is sleeping on his keyboard. Trey, wake up, son. What does he say? Can you use your voice?
Hey, Kaz, it's been a while. I've gotten over my discharge from 6th Platoon and now in therapy from a specialist from Open Arms. My friend who I trained for 6 months with has enlisted in the Navy today. I'm slowly getting back on my feet. That's great. Good to hear.
Bouncing back can be a tough thing, and normally the younger you are, well, it's probably equally tough for those that have been around the block, because then they might think their day is over. But then for the young ones, it might simply be, well, where do I go from here? Does this define me? And the answer is no, it's what you do next, Trey. Because a drink could be useless without a tray. So thank you very much, mate. Nutsu cow to you. Thank you.
Apparently, I'm extremely quiet tonight.
Her ex-husband did not say that was true. Okay, I'll move that to here, but I cannot stand holding a mobile phone
I understand.
up like it's a a breathalyzer, you know, at the mines for the next bloody hour.
Exactly. I hope that's a little better, folks.
That should be.
Zachary Johnson is there with the blue cow.
Oh, there we go. 300 Sparta. Nutsu cow to you. And I was just saying earlier there, Zach, that 300 at Thermopylae, the Battle of Thermopylae, where the Spartans fought the Persians, and Leonidas gave his life, which is not as big a deal as it sounded, except for him and his family, because they had regency, which means, like Rome, when they were consuls, they had 2 of them, so one had to give their life so that Sparta wouldn't fall. As not the acolytes, the visionaries, what are they called? Had foreordained that a king must fall if Sparta is to stand. So Australians actually were in a fighting retrograde operation near Hell's Gates, the Thermopylae, where you would have seen Leonidas fighting in the movie 300 in that retrograde, swapping land, terrain for time against the Germans. There you go, in case you didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that. Hey, there's an exciting comment.
Yeah.
The Matrix has, or is it Matrix?
Is that Kapooka now?
Yeah, just got to Sydney and he's getting on the bus to Kapooka tomorrow.
He is, and that's really well timed there. Thank you very much, Lauren. Because what we're going to do, we've had, due to the Victorian lockdowns with COVID morbidity, what's happened is we've had a whole bunch of delayed actions that are happening from several people. So tomorrow, boom, we're seeing this. The oath or affirmation, hand up, swearing on the Bible or on the Queen to give a contract to everything up to including your life to Queen and Country. Now the names from one platoon, we're going to call the platoon that is currently in hotels, Eaton Tucker on your dime, is 7 platoon. One platoon, okay, one platoon was Joshua, Yaros and Dave Crushing. Now they're here now, which means they're getting ready for their hotel. They swore in today, got their regimental number, getting paid, signed the contract, so to be. Now, we've also got the big fella, Bird Kid, Donkey Bong, and I'm not sure whether they're in the same hotel or whether they're actually at Kapooka right now doing their first week's crap in the toilets down there, with 7th of June, right, being Juicy Jack's Joel, she's only a woman to me, Iron Wolf's dad coming round the bend with Winnie 00 dun 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 7, not far behind. We've got DuPont, H-Man should be watching tonight, and Matrix, as we know, is here right now, as is Dave.
This morning, and you know who else is here?
Who's that?
And I see someone got rid of his comment. He must have been being a bit cheeky. Your friend Chris Dudfield is here.
Hey, Dudders, how you going, mate? Good to have you here. And look, someone else has joined the military here too. We've got Rex, Sikkim Rex, the bearer of coffee, and yes, I will drink that. Mutsu cow. And McDonald's now, they almost call me by name, and that name is Batman.
That's true. That's true. Sorry, it just makes me think of the Robin story.
Me mate that goes by the prefix Donald Trump. You know, I rocked up there, pretty girls service every day at the coffee club. I rock up there and they're, what name is it? Batman. And I stuck with that. Then me mate Donald Trump turns up and they're going, you must be Robin. And he's going, I want to be Deadpool. And they're going, you don't get to choose your nickname. You're with Batman, that makes you Robin. So he hates it. Hates being called Robin. What else we got?
We've got a lot. Chat's going. There's JP. Hi, JP.
One shot, one kill for all those out there that want to be a sniper. A goofy, tall guy that doesn't talk much, cannot dance at all. That's JP.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't stop him dancing. He just can't do it. Fighting the turret with the swamp.
No, it's Scotty Healy. Let's go and watch Scotty, actually. Have we got him here? No. What you can see in the background now is what was meant to be happening tonight, but I've just got over getting over a really bad headache that hasn't had me sleeping in the last basically 24 hours. I was meant to be eating the devil's testicles. The bloody...
Yeah, don't do it till you're feeling better.
Yeah. The frickin' Brussels sprouts washing down with a Pepsi.
Yeah, but you need to cook them with a bit of butter and maybe even a little bit of bacon in there. That'd be delicious.
Which tells me that you don't like them either and need to kill the taste. I get it.
I could eat them like they are. They're fine. Hey, Dave Penson's here. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave Penson's in Vietnam, team. All the way from Nam. You know, instead of Smarties over there, they have the yellow pill. What's that one called? Doxycycline. It also gets rid of anything that makes you itchy below your waist.
Which I think Dudders needs after his comment that got removed.
Well, Dudders would have been on those pills too with me overseas.
Well, he needs some more doxycycline for you. That's what...
It's saved a few of my 9 lives, I tell you. This pussy's been lucky. What do we got?
Oh, right, okay. Who have we got? Nicole King wants you to go get your neck looked at. I help with your headaches, I've heard. I don't know if that's a conversation you two have been having, but I'm just saying, I think that's what she means.
I might just feel guilty about something. Don't know what it is.
That's silly. Come on now.
Guys and gals, this picture in the background is indicative of every single thing that Dave Cruikshank, Yaros, and the rest of them won't get, potentially for more than 6 months. Don't forget, it's not Kapooka. That's 13 weeks. But what happens when you finish Kapooka is you get on the bus. 2 days later, after you've done the march out, and that's even if your family's permitted due to lockdowns, etc., and you're going to be heading to your IET school, your initial employment training school. When you get to your initial employment training school, whether that be Steel Barracks for Engineers in Sydney, whether that be the School of Infantry in Singleton, okay, where no one can hear you scream, except the miners' daughters, that look more like men sometimes, or you go into Pucka, where it is so damn cold, that you'll hug an animal, just to get through the winter night while you're on picket, or even wear a Howard Green for those that have ever served and know that it's the most itchy jumper on earth. Your course may not start for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. You might carry an injury. You might not even be fit enough when you go outside of Kapooka to be able to actually start your next course. So take into account that it's not 3 months away from family. You're looking at 6 to 8 months. And that's not taking into account getting back squatted. So really think it out. Don't have your family absolutely holding their breath because they can only barely make it to the minimum planning time that it's going to take you to get out of training successfully without any acts of God, any training dilemmas, etc. So just be smart with that one, team. 7 Platoon is about to find this out tomorrow, eating food tonight in a hotel Next crap is going to be on the porcelain of a damn cold seat unless they go second in Kapooka. Dutters, Lauren.
He wants to know if you have an email address that you give out publicly. He has one or two pics he would like to send you.
Look, I almost never look at it, Dutters, but it's in the trenches at outlook.com.
Yeah, and you can look for just his. Just go look for his. Just scooch through everything else. Yeah, I'm sorry for everyone who's been trying to get in contact with me. I'm really sad. There's Lambo with a blue cow.
343.
No
That's
chits,
the ECN.
Headache shouldn't matter, and that's why he's here.
Yeah, that's why it is. That's why I'm here. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to shake that up. Boom. Let's bring the fire on. You know, I'm not sure what you's like for your viewing pleasure when you're looking, whether you're looking on your phone right now in a public toilet at a rest stop somewhere, or whether you're watching it on the TV, or whether you're watching it, you know, on a computer as well, with your family going, what is this guy doing? He always listens to him. I think he's playing up on me. You know, bloody zombies.
Body's without power. He's sitting there naked in the dark at the moment. He said he was just watching my stream and it all went dark, and now I understand what he meant.
That sounds like Seven.
Yeah.
Lauren was talking about favourite scary movies this morning on a fantastic stream that our channel, I've got to say this now, for all those Patreon members that didn't make it today to Lauren's stream, Lauren done a stellar stream this morning. She really, mind the pun here, you know, busted a cherry on her first live stream using Streamlabs, using the stream pad, etc. deck. And I'd like to thank Patreon. I didn't have time to go and ask for permission. Can we go and help a brother out, so to speak?
Yeah.
Lauren, quickly tell us the story. What happened to your monitor?
Oh my God, I had a weekend from hell. Everything just got thrown at me. There was one of my kids wearing a school bag turned around and knocked my monitor off my desk, and it just wasn't going to work. So all my streams were off until the Patreon came in, swooped in, picked me up out of the mud, and made sure that I could actually do my stream, and I really appreciated it. And that's why I honoured you, Kaz, by putting your little Kaz guy in the background, your Kaz sim.
I'll go there just to watch myself in the Coke shirt running around.
Yeah, it was fun. I like the adventures of little Kaz. Hey, we've got a long-time lurker, first-time commenter here. Nicole Liddicoat, who is a member, says, evening everyone, long-time lurker, first-time poster, hope you're all well. Well, hello Nicole, welcome to chat. You know, we love the lurkers.
We do. And when we get ladies come on, that sort of shows there's a little bit of less circle jerk going on that happens when men get in our favourite topics of conversation online.
Carl P wanted me to tell you, Kaz, he said, I got home tonight to your package. Justin and Lincoln and myself are so thankful. Cheers, mate, you are too kind. He is. He's so generous.
And that was a Patreon surprise as well, which means Daz must only have about 8 weeks before his gets there, because he lives down in a town with no name, so to speak, and he's got one coming to him. Basically, just because you don't see what we're doing all the time on Patreon doesn't mean we're not representing you all the time.
You're always doing stuff, you know, and you usually tell me about it. Here's Manny.
That's a cool name.
A yellow cow, and he says, thanks for the insight over the months, Kaz and Lauren. Still waiting for my CHOP enlistment in Melbourne, COVID pending.
Nutsu cow, thank you very much for the Asian cow there. And you've just reminded me of a bath I had last night with one of our fantastic Patreon members who spoke to me on Bat Phone. And it really brought up an interesting question, because like Carl, like yourself, mate, he's not going for Army Reserve, he's going for the regular Army. But I was speaking to him about medics, you know, and Stoddy, it's really good. We've got Stoddy here, we've got the Turret Vissoir, we've got Dembo and that here as well. That when people talk about a medic, let me make one thing clear. it's not like the movies. You don't go to medical corps and then be starting to chill out with a rifle platoon, or with a squadron of APCs or armoured vehicles, etc. Normally, what normally happens is someone from armoured corps or someone from infantry will become a combat medic trained individual, where they can carry controlled drugs as well that can be administered, whether that be morphine, etc. So it's more likely that you will come in as a medic and you'll be at regimental aid post during the week in barracks, looking for those sports injuries and things that can happen, and be waiting in quick reaction force areas around live fire ranges, mostly in B and C class ranges, movement boxes, etc., that aren't usually thrown out to other corps. They're normally only for combat corps like armoured corps and infantry, and some others that will come in for a little while. Engineers as well, when they do their explosive ordnance packages, etc.
Sorry,
So
there's a question here if you're finished.
I'm not, but
Okay,
just
you
give me
keep going
two
then.
more seconds.
Hold
So
it.
I believe that there is room where the medical corps, or at least the medical corps should be straddled over infantry and cav, where they can move and become combat medics that stay embedded within infantry platoons, etc. Because they're already qualified infantry, which means they can carry out any role within an infantry platoon. They will have to have a new re-roll, which is in line sort of with the Hippocratic Oath to preserve life of enemy friendly alike, but so does our rules of engagement. But there's a lot of questions that can be asked about medics, but don't think if you go to medical corps you're going to be frontlining it. Don't think that you're going to be out having some of that fun, because that's not the case. You'll be lying in wait most of the time for the worst case scenarios.
Yeah, there's a blue cow from Joe Bellinger, and it's a 343 cow, our favourite.
Great to have you here, Joey. I thought it said Tom Berenger there for a second with my eyes.
Yep. You should have gone to Specsavers. There's Kaz and Loz doing God's work with the streams. Why, thank you very much.
Mate, thank you very much. It's great that you understand. I think people can take for granted sometimes these are Australian streamers.
Yeah,
There is almost no Australian streamers. You got Mr. Buckaroony, fantastic channel. If you're into your camping and all that sort of stuff, that guy's a servant of the nation.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, and I mean, there's the Night Watchers crew.
Night Watchers. And unfortunately, the Night Watchers can't be monetised for some reason, which is going to hurt their growth, because if you can't be monetised, they also don't advertise your channel.
Yeah, exactly. But they're good Aussie streamers. If you jump into their stream, you might see me. I jumped in there the other day, and there was Kaz and Daz were both already in there. They beat me to it.
Lurking.
Yeah, Matthew McIntosh has said, is there any way to contact you, Kaz? Now might be the time to explain about the bat phone again.
Can you do that?
Yeah, sure. If you become a Patreon member just type in Dean Caswell Patreon into Google. I'll put a link in the chat in a minute.
The link is below too.
Yeah, oh good. If you become a Patreon member, you get access to the bat phone, which gives you one-on-one conversations with Kaz, and he can help you and achieve your goal, answer your questions, and that's the best way to contact him.
And look, for the price of a cup of coffee, what I'd still would recommend is never pay more than the entry price to get in there. Okay, but also, Nicole paid for the whole year today. We're not going to accept any more donations off her.
She's good and naughty at the same time, isn't she?
Yeah, but don't try and come onto Patreon after like the 25th of the month, because what happens is it will charge you your $7 or whatever every first of the month. So if you get on the 29th or the 30th, you'll get charged again 2 or 3 days later, and that can make people go, what's going on here? Am I being fleeced? Which is not the case.
No, absolutely not. No, the amazing things you do are, it changes the world, all those little things that you do. The Fresh Boy is here, And he has said, hey Kaz, just wanted to know what your opinion on aircraft technician in the Army is. I'm currently redoing some schooling and losing more weight to join. Right now I've lost 32 kilos so far. That's a really good start. Well done. Keep going.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. It's going to be a very technical role. Normally, the more technical role, the less regimental a role is, because you're going to have, your hands full with that technical data. You're going to be a specialist, which is very hard for you to be able to offset what you need to do. Therefore, you sort of get left alone. It's almost more civilian orientated than what it is military, but with all of the bonuses of having posting cycles. And this is something I'm about to talk about in a minute. Leave this with me for 2 seconds, because I also just have to answer this.
Yep.
Nicholas Moore.
Yep, and he says, doing God's work, guys. We get that a lot. We must be. Got my assessment session tomorrow. Any advice? Stuff the careers coach don't tell you, etc.
We've got a whole bunch of videos just there for you, mate. If I was you, what I'd recommend is watch it twice, tonight and tomorrow morning. Watch the U session, watch the assessment session, watch the PFA, but also make sure that you listen to everything that they asked you to come up with, so you can communicate why you want to enter, what happens when you enter, but also understand this is not a confession session. Don't tell them you smoked pot 4 years ago. That's not going to help. They're going to ask you questions. They're looking for errors, not for good things about you, as well as medically. Be prepared that they might find something about you that you didn't even know you had wrong, because you've never been over the pits before. Itchy ear syndrome here. So go in there with an open mind, but understand it's harder to get into the Army Reserve and the regular Army than what it is to get into uni. So just get ready to go and represent yourself. You already passed a U session, so there's something about you they want, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, indeed. And then we've got the Full Metal Barista, as always, with a $5 donation saying assessment day is manana. Feeling calm, feeling confident, smiley face. So that's good. Stay relaxed, be yourself.
That's it. You do the work, and then the only nerves come down to apprehension, because you think there's nothing else I can do. So I should be laughing.
Exactly. Don't stress yourself, because sometimes you guys can do that, young folk especially, even before exams and that. Really, it's not the end of the world. Just do your best.
And this is what happens when there's when you have time on your hands, and you start to get that separation anxiety, where you just, even if it's something that's going to be bad for you, you want it to happen sooner rather than later, just so you can get it out of the way. It's why a zebra will eventually give up running from a bloody lion. Okay, there's my neck, just do it. Yep. We've got Eats back, the voice of the people. Thanks very much, mate. Put a box under his feet. Let him stand. Let him talk. What's your flavour of drink? Thank you very much, Eats. He's got his rank there.
Yeah, he's a good community member, is he, Swa?
Yeah, he's been here for a while too.
Who has?
We've got Wakey here.
Wakey was kids, and he says, hey Kaz, I've been talking to the recruiters and I'm going for the medic role.
Yeah.
Which service do you believe is the best for serving as a medic?
Oh. You know what? I reckon Navy. Because the postings can be magnificent. Your role, you're going to have awesome equipment. You're hardly ever going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be a specialist. You're going to have your own room, and you're basically operational your entire career. When you go to an army, then you're going to be working, or RAF, you're going to be working out of a hospital, so to speak. But if something is serious enough, you won't be looking after it anyway, other than a first responder, until it gets passed over to the paramedics that come out from the civilian street. Another one on medics. Just so you know, most of the medics that we have, that we take on operations, aren't necessarily just from medical corps. What we tend to do is take Army Reserve medics, because they're normally qualified at a higher level a lot of the time, and we can get them bang for buck. We can bring them over as SSO officer, or we can bring them with advanced medical certifications, that are temporarily in an army uniform from Army Reserve. Examples of that is Rwanda, Iraq, Afghanistan, etc. Getting the most bang for our buck, and then when they come back, okay, and then let them go back off into the wind again.
Yeah. We have a name here I haven't seen before. Adam Stenner, and I think he's suggesting that he is in Ramey, and so if people have questions, he's willing to answer them.
And it's great to have you here, mate. I hope you subscribe. We need as many military here to support the next generation of those that are going to either be working beside you, working beside those that you call best friend, colleague, brother.
Exactly. Wasn't your dad Ramey?
He was. I believe they're the best people in the army because they've got no time for regimentality. They're working, little grease monkeys.
They're lovely folk.
I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you if you're wasting their time.
Yeah, no, they're nice folk. Okay, we've got some questions here if you're up for them.
Go.
Okay. The Australian Hype says, I'm joining the Australian Army. I just have my fitness test, but I'm joining the Australian Indigenous Development Program. Do you have any information or thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is, if you don't have, if you can, don't use that.
Yeah.
If you need that, then use it. What I mean by that is, what you don't want to do is define yourself as someone that needed help to get in, and depending on what corps you go to, okay, there should be no special treatment given to anyone, regardless of Indigenous, regardless of feminine, regardless of any socio-economic, religion, anything. Because at the end of the day, that will get you to Kapooka. It won't get you through Singo. There'll be no one there. There'll be no cultural officer there for you. Fitness is normally never a problem, okay? But what it can be difficult if someone is undercooked and they go in there and they get there as part of quota, or they get a part of a special program. I'm not trying to make you nervous about your next steps. What can happen is you can be getting the wheels greased for you, then you get in there and then feel like this is over my head, this is over my head.
Yeah, and you may actually be underestimating yourself.
It happens all the time.
You may be able to do it on your own steam without the special program, but by all means, we're not hating on anybody for taking up an opportunity when it's offered to them. But you might be underestimating yourself. You should be able to probably do it. Plenty of Indigenous folk have joined the army with the same standards as everyone else and do just fine.
I find the Indigenous people, are some of the most humble and respectful soldiers that you'll ever meet.
I agree.
And it's we've had some fantastic soldiers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they didn't have an Indigenous program to help them get in.
No, because the whole thing about the army is you're not female, you're not male.
Yeah.
That's not really true. There's definitely two standards there. But what I'm trying to say is the army is meant to be, you're a soldier. No one cares about your colour. No one cares about your religion. No one cares about your gender or who you want to put your willy in. None of that should matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, moving along. John O'Greg says, hey Kaz, I'm in my last year of school and want to join the SASR in 5 to 7 years. What role would you suggest I do in the army to be best prepared?
Our military is moving so fast. They've got the new Special Operations School, I believe, where they take people from all across the army, not to commandos, but into the Special Forces operations, where you'll have roles that service and support and assist the SOCOM in their missions and preparation, which means you have to be part of the family. Be careful what you ask for, because I'll hold you to account as well. But the answer to your question, infantry, if you're going for commandos, is a must. But if you're going to go for SASR, all you got to do is be an outside-the-box thinker. Pretty goddamn intelligent, robust as hell. You don't have to be the fittest, but you can never, ever quit.
Yeah, exactly. You really have to be very strong-willed, I think.
But it helps if you're from a weapons background.
Yeah, SRN says that doesn't look like Hallway 7 to him.
It doesn't look like bloody Hallway 11 either, mate. But this is what it's not going to look like when you get to Kapooka. And it's funny, you will never get it out of your brain. It is burnt into your brain what platoon you're in. Oz Hawaii 11, Bravo Company Hawaii 11, Hawaii 11! Every day, you will rip your bed to pieces. You'll be in boxer shorts only. You'll throw your shit over your shoulder and you'll run out and you'll stand half naked, okay, in the hallway, looking face forward with all your crap over your shoulder so that you had to destroy your bed, so that when you're 15 minutes, 10 minutes, etc., for you to bond with your roommate, and I don't mean like Spartans, get the oil out, rub my back, sir, then basically what will occur is then you'll put two beds together. Both of you will have showers, both of you have to brush teeth, and both of you have to shave. All within 10 and 15 minutes. Sounds like it's a long time. It's not.
Yeah. Mr. Buccaroni is here and he's got some good advice for this. He says, how about getting in the army first before you worry about SASR kids? And that is good advice. You did a great video on walking before you run. I suggest everybody go and check that one out if they're thinking about it.
Because you could be in there for another 40 years. Don't get in there thinking you're going in there for 4, because you're going to change as a human. And I hope that you don't get it for, at least be in for 6, so you don't look like you got out as soon as you possibly could.
Yeah. Nicole King's got to go. She's got...
See you later, Queenie King.
She's got a mini drama going on. Her brain's about to explode. She's got some business to take care of.
Is that because of the naming of Meghan Markle's baby?
No.
I should call it Satan.
No, she's obviously dealing with a nasty woman. So you go sort her out, Nicole, or even better, just ignore her, because you know who you are.
Remind her you're the king.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What was it? Yeah, good night, Mr. Patterson. Have a good sleep.
Come on, Mr. P. Hallway 25 says Brady. So he remembers. What hallway were you, Mr. Buckaroonie? Eats. Settle down on your wallet there, son.
Yeah. Hey, Kaz, what do you think about the protesters at the Land Forces Convention in Brisbane calling people in uniform child murderers and the rise in anti-military thought being pushed by the left? I actually haven't seen a lot of rise in it, but I didn't know that there was actual protesters going on. You know what? This isn't the first time this has happened.
If they want to call us a baby killer, I'd ask them, so what are you going to say to women that have had abortions?
Yeah, exactly.
What are they?
Yeah,
exactly. What do you think of pro-choice?
Yeah, exactly. And really, quite frankly, they should educate themselves on how many babies you guys save.
Yeah, we don't pay attention to them sort of idiots. They're a renter crowd, mate. They'll be going on about the mines tomorrow.
They're just Che Guevara t-shirt wearers. They don't really have a lot of depth to them.
And they clearly don't have a job, because they've got time to go and do that. You're not going to take a day off work so you can go and just yell at the moon like a Sunday markets t-shirt with a wolf going.
Yep, exactly. Here's Paulo de Silva.
That's a good name.
Yeah, I saw that. He said he just passed his citizenship test.
That's awesome.
And got some questions. Okay, can I apply for ADF Army jobs now?
Yes.
And is it a problem if I've been in the Army in Brazil before?
No, mate. For starters, can we get a whole bunch of thumbs up there? Because
I think we should.
For those that haven't travelled around the world, it is such a big deal that someone's let their patriotism for their previous country go and represent another country, and then to represent that country with a uniform with their new country's flag on their shoulder. Absolutely awesome to have you here, mate, and the pleasure is definitely ours. Even if you're silver, I prefer gold, but we'll take silver if we've got it. And, mate, yes, you can join when you're a citizen, because naturally you're a resident as well. And any thing you've got about worrying about Brazil, all that will simply happen is that needs to be vetted out as part of your security package clearance, where they're going to go in there and they're going to ask you previous locations you lived, potential convictions, education, equivalency, all of that sort of stuff. Be prepared that it can be a little bit of a stuff around. Not sure how old you are, mate, but they are more than happy if there's not a language barrier for you to come in. Language barrier, why would that be a problem? Because you need to be able to take commands. You need to be able to follow direction, and we can't afford that gap culturally where someone is in a position where they can actually be dangerous for the team. So going with
Yeah.
broad shoulders, happy to work beside you, mate, and welcome to Australia, because I still call it
Welcome
home.
to Australia. Welcome to Australia, indeed.
Good on you.
Thanks for taking it on like you have. Chris Dugfield is out of here. He's got to go apply some cream to stop that rash from spreading.
I get it. I've had it.
Nothing to say. The Australian Hypers added. Oh, hi Simon. Nice to see you here. The Australian Hypers added. He was the one who's going for the Indigenous program.
Yeah.
He said feels like he has no choice but to do the Indigenous program due to me not being able to pass Year 10 in my small town due to severe bullying. So when I applied for the Defence Force, said it was my only way. Look, if it's going to help you get your Year 10 quicker, then do that for sure. No one, like I said, no one here is hating on you for taking an opportunity that's been offered whatsoever.
Look at that for a fantastic name. Thomas Riddle just subscribed.
Oh, Thomas Riddle. Isn't that like he who shall not be mentioned?
The Riddler hates Batman too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Thomas Riddle was, what's his name? Voldemort's name when he was a kid.
Really?
Welcome, Voldemort.
This is Lauren's house up here. Sorry,
I wish it was.
on the corner here, team. Watch what happens to it.
Oh, are you playing the clip with my house?
Yeah.
I've got such a lovely garden too.
Hit the like button if you can too, team, so we can outnumber the thumbs down guy before we'd even started the stream. I don't know what we had said.
You hadn't said anything. You weren't even starting.
Halo Native, great to have you here, mate. Halo, I reckon, was one of the best games that ever came out, and it was originally a game that came out native to Xbox. It was the first big name. Hey, Ruthy, I just got a call from AGSVA today in regards to my clearance. I'm from overseas, and as long as you are proud to be an Australian and are happy to not share defence info, those are the big ones. And that's yep, absolutely. Lauren's house is gone.
Yeah, it's gone. I know, bastards. Thomas
Barnes.
Rattle has a question for you, and it's a bit of a riddle. If a sergeant gets a VC, and a few years later a corporal gets awarded a VC, then they meet, who salutes who first?
Well, they don't salute anyone. No one's.
Yeah.
The only people that salute the VC is officers, I believe, and even then, it's who goes first. And I'm not going to salute someone because they got a VC.
Yeah.
You know, it's-
Halo Native has asked a question which we do get asked a lot, but you may not even like the truth. Hey Kaz, do you think I could easier join the army since I do cadets? And I see that even, I think, fighting the turret, and that has given him a good answer, but it's just, please, could you just explain?
It's a different world, mate. You've got to remember that even in the song, I was only 19, it was a long way from cadets.
Yeah,
And that was from Mum and Dad and Danny. They saw the passing out parade at Puckapunyal.
they sure did.
It was a long march from cadets. Mate, you know what's funny? Most cadets don't go on to join the army, which I find very weird. Cadets can help you. It can institutionalise you to a little bit. It can teach you about customs and traditions, how to wear a uniform, how to march, all these things. But it gives you no advantage, other than telling you that this is what you want. We've just got a whole bunch of subscribers. Can we just put some thank yous in there? And if you're a brand new subscriber, team, ask a question so we bond with your name.
Yeah, and chat's moving quick. I'm sure I saw somebody who said, here it is, Alex is off to Kapooka in 11 days.
Let's put him in the book.
Yeah, indeed. He's going from far north Queensland down to Windsor.
How far North Queensland?
Does it matter?
Do we have a date?
No, he says 11 days. What's 11 days from now? Give us
That's
the
the
date.
18th.
Yeah, it would be.
That'll be the 18th.
Yeah,
18th of June.
yeah.
At the moment, we've got, at the same time, is Filming Can't and Skylight H. So what's this gentleman's name?
This was, oh gosh, now I've lost it. It was Alex. Just Alex.
Alex the Kid. And he's also gone in with, you wouldn't believe it, diesel duck.
Oh, there you go.
Now, that's not a white meat I'd like to eat.
Isn't it?
A duck cooked in diesel. Guys and gals, thank you very much for all of those that are subscribing at the moment. It's important not just to me, it's not just important to Lauren, but it's important to you that the channel that you actually subscribe to is a channel that will actually answer your questions. We've got Pat Comerford here, just subscribed as well. Great to have you here. It is my pleasure. And if you ever need that one-on-one call, and especially if you join the military, Paulo da Silva, you know, well done. We're looking forward to tracking you, mate.
Yeah, he said honoured to be talking to you, Kaz. He said he's 43, engineering diploma, and I really want to serve this country as my family is Australian, and I want to build a legacy here too.
We want you to as well. Dave Evans, great to have you here, mate. Saw you creep in there.
Indeed.
Can we?
G'day, Cooper Pratton is here too.
Coops, good to have you here, mate. I'm pratting on too at the moment.
Yeah.
Alex, there he is.
Local Touge idiot said he got his letter of offer today.
What's the date, mate?
Yeah, let us know the date. We'll put you in the book.
That's when it becomes real. When you actually get the letter back that says this is the date that you're going to go in, you know, and be laying 2 meters from someone else who's staring at you.
Yeah.
Mr. Buckaroony. For those that don't know, Mr. Buckaroony's a North Queensland channel. He has been in the police, he's been a prison guard, he's been in the military. He's a great guy, plays sports. You know, he's got footballs getting made that have his channel and my channel. There's going on footballs that'll go to Papua New Guinea to give to the kids, as well as Indigenous people and people in the outback that we'll be giving those balls to. You know, Jay Hayes just subscribed West Side, not cerebral palsy. So guys and gals, if you're at camping, outdoor, or even a dogger, if you know what dogging is, you know, have a look at Mr. Buckaroony's channel, you know, and between Mr. Buckaroony, okay, the paranormal guys, yeah, Lauren and Kaz coming in at Tail End Charlie here, we're more than happy to answer your questions. We're more than happy to mentor you through situations you don't want to introduce to your circle of friends, family, or influences, because then it becomes permanent.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll keep you company as well. We've got you covered.
Lord.
The Australian Hive, you just go take that opportunity and you just keep us updated on how it got. No one here wants to make you feel bad about it. You go take that opportunity if it's offered to you, and you just do your best. And like Stoddy said, when you're in, that's when you can really show everyone what you're made of. So you take that opportunity. If you do want to get one-on-one conversations with Kaz, become a Patreon member, and then you'll get access to the bat phone.
And mate, bullying happens to a lot of us, mate.
Yeah,
you know, when you go in the military, your brother's by choice. You know, they won't let you get to you by outside agencies, mate.
Yes. There is nothing left of my house.
There's not. You've really copped it there.
Gone.
You've copped a hiding. Guys and gals, we've got so many things coming up. Here's some of the titles of some of the videos that we're going to be putting out really soon that aren't stream based, because they're important enough that they should be videos that stand alone. One of those is, what would you do with $1 million? $1 million in the bank account. What would you do with it? It'll make sense later. Okay. Also, I'm going to break down the ancient art of war. Okay, Sun Tzu, because a lot of people look at it and go, oh, how would I read that? How would I understand that? And Mr. Buckaroony will be able to tell you, so will Swinging the Turret with Swar, etc.
Yeah.
That once you have a military background, you've got an analytical mind that has been thrust into the individual military appreciation process, or the military appreciation process, or subject courses, tactics, etc., then you will understand exactly what these terms are speaking about. And it's really easy for me to read. You don't read it like a book, but what I'll do is I'll take 5 or 10 parts of that book, and I will highlight that, and I will explain each and every one of those points, so you absolutely understand that as a source of information you can use in the future. Ruthy donated a jaundiced cow.
Yeah, jaundiced cow, and he says, what should I put on my bucket list in my last month of civvy life, Kaz? Nothing that's going to get you in trouble or anyone pregnant.
That's it. No wedding rings, calamari rings, burger rings, buffalo wings. They're good to go. Mate, go and have some fun. You know, it's not all about training. Now it's about fun.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
just get some sleep as well.
Yeah, but don't be naughty. Don't be getting charged with anything. Don't mess it up.
But there's two things you should really do. Organise a formal dinner to have with your mum and dad and family. You don't spend your last nights with your friends. That's for your family.
Yeah, exactly.
Those that have supported you to get you to where you're going to go. But also have a night which is not just a night on the piss. Have an actual sit-down dinner, unless you're from Victoria, in either a Thai restaurant, Chinese restaurant, Italian restaurant or whatever, where people understand it's not about just getting pissed. It's about spending some quality time, and they understood that you could only invite a certain amount of people and you chose them.
Yep,
It's also the time to go up to the prettiest girl that you think you had no chance with and go, baby, when I'm gone, I'm gone. This is your last chance.
Yeah, just don't marry her or get pregnant if she does take you up on the offer.
That's it.
Capital Gaming RP Studios says, in the trenches with Kaz, will COVID affect my enlistment date? I'm in Melbourne for the Navy.
Yes. Yes and no. We've got guys right now, okay, who were meant to be in on the 1st of June, who are now going in with the 7th of June muster. What will happen is, either way, you're going to go to somewhere where you will probably... Jesus, something went off in the background. That was the last of your house. But the flag, Elton John, is still standing. Mate, you will go into some sort of COVID quarantine shutdown. I don't know why. You know, they can test you on the spot pretty much and do an invasive test, putting stuff up your nose until they find out the results. But I would say be prepared for it. But you're still going to go in and swear in, I'd say, on the same day. But what will happen is all of the shit that will occur will be once you're actually in, and you'll be getting paid the whole time anyway. So just go with it, my man. I hope you don't have kids, okay, that's putting extra burden on them. Some of the videos we're putting out is we're going to break down the ancient art of war. Okay, we've also got the van intro. We're going to communicate what's happening with the van, why I chose the van chassis that I did, what the van is going to be in this channel, etc., and some of our up-and-coming plans. We're also going to do a video on combined arms, so you understand where artillery, infantry, armour, engineers, medics, etc., all come into play and support each other in a synchronised effect for the result of one mission. There's also going to be why no one understands why you want to join the military. And this one is kind of come to me from Carl. You know, I'm going to dedicate that one to Carl. You know, because he's got people that are non-believers within his closest circles. And you need to understand that just not everyone is going to get it. Not everyone's going to get the memo. And one of the last ones is very fitting in the background. We need the death penalty back. You know, I think that's a very important subject. I'd like to hear what you've got on that. And that's going to be all related to Tristan Bailey, that just lost her life in the USA. And I believe across the Western world there should be absolute, what would you call it, fast-tracked responses to those that show premeditation and brutality to those that are the most innocent amongst us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's maybe not even just to deter people, just maybe I've thought about it, right? Maybe we need to eliminate defective people, you know, people who just don't work in society.
Let's not speak too harsh, they could come and get me.
Right, okay, anyway, let's get back to chat if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've got the Australian Hype again says, okay, thanks for that, really feeling like a part of the team. You are part of the team.
Can we just quickly throw in there, and just so you know, and Chongo's here, chest puncher he is. That the one thing, if you've never heard me say before, subscribe right now if you haven't, is when you come to this channel and when you go to the military, Army, Air Force or Navy, you have 100 points. It's up to you to hold on to those 100 points. Okay? If people don't like you by the end of Kapooka, what did you do? You know, if you don't like the Army by the end of Kapooka, what happened? What went wrong with your dream role? And remember that Kapooka is not, and same with Navy, same with Air Force, indicative of a military career in Air Force, Army or Navy. It is just where we give you the baptism of fire, like the soldiers got in Gallipoli, etc., with the Anzacs, the diggers. It's to break you out of your shell, you know. So don't expect that is got what your military career is going to be about.
Yep, indeed. Where was I up to? Okay, now Simon Powell has a serious question. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it lately.
Go, Simon.
He wanted to ask what your thoughts and opinion on the current court case with Ben Roberts-Smith is. Is that the one he's just launched against his ex-wife after it was found that she's the one who's been giving all the information away? I mean,
Is that what they found out?
Yeah, that's fact. There's several. I told you that was what would be happening.
Is this a case of woman's gone, is it?
Possibly. There's several court cases he's involved in at the moment. Maybe we could go away and research it, and we'll come back to it, because it is very interesting indeed. He's also saying that it was not him who did the lunchbox, but her, and I always thought that was sus. How do you accidentally find a lunchbox? It's been weird.
Yeah, that is weird, especially without a warrant, etc. Normally the reason why I don't weigh in on these sort of things in intricacy is, one, I don't know, and two, you may not realise that I am really anti-naming names. You know, I don't like name dropping for benefit. I don't like name dropping for crucifixion. You know, and these guys have served with valour. You know, and I prefer to step back and let the Army that knows all the facts, okay, once they get him, do a court-martial so he gets actually not civilians judging him, but military judging him in a military tribunal, a court-martial, so they actually understand the conduct of rules of engagement, expectation, action and execution on what occurred, because if you leave it up to civilians, you know, they're going to go, oh, that doesn't sound good. You go, yeah, but you know that his job is also to take you down in the dead of night if you're asleep and end your life if you're recognised as an enemy. There is so much grey matter between what we can do and what we can't do. And also, like, that doesn't even make sense. If you can do that, why can't you do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's several court cases going on, Simon. The latest one is actually against his ex-wife. He's suing her. Yeah, so there's so much going on with it.
That's sad when there's children involved, isn't it?
It is sad, but I'm guessing he may not have had any choice but to do that now.
Look, there's Lauren, can we just pause that there for a second?
Yeah.
Now, this might sound a little bit misogynistic, you know, but what would you say if I was to say, be very careful as a man with what you trust your partner with, knowing you are not meant to tell them where your kryptonite is. Do not do it, because one day, and the statistics say, that your relationship is going to fail. If you do that, you know, and you sometimes allow them to know the very depths of your soul, even if they're not going to use it against you, you could hurt that poor woman where she can't look at you the same way, and she goes, you're the guy I love, and you just told me you've done this, you've said that. Are you doing it to appease your own soul, or are you doing it because they need to know?
Yeah, quite frankly, there's things I don't need to know. Good night, Nicole. Have a good sleep.
Bye, Nicole.
And sometimes there is things I don't need to know. There's men's business and there's women's business.
Absolutely. You know, and once it becomes, once you know it, and they tell you, then you have to make a decision. You may have to make an action on it, and they can be, I didn't want to do this, but you forced me by putting it in my face. You know.
Hey, there's Private Pile with a yellow cow.
Tip of the hat with the jaundiced cow.
Yep, here's some pocket money for you, he said.
He came from the First Fleet. That Look at this, we've got a new background here. That will go towards some toothpicks for the next club sandwiches that I bite.
You were fortunate to only get it stuck in the roof of your mouth. You could have choked on it and died. You could always use it to clear a blockage in your urethra.
Oh, like a whalebone.
Yeah, like a whalebone. Perfect.
Hey, can we get some thumbs up if we've got any Kiwis out there? If we've got anyone that likes the fish and chops, let us know, because I just had a magic phone call reunion. A lot of people may not realise that, I went over and how long was I there for? 3 months? I can't remember. And was section commander / platoon sergeant in the Bravo Company, the 2nd 1st Battalion, RNZIR, Royal New Zealand Infantry Regiment. And basically what happened was I met some of the best people of my life. Over there, you don't hang around with privates. When you're a section commander, you go to the corporal's bar, just like there's sergeant's bars, officers' bars, etc. in Australia. Well, I chose to hang out at the baggies bar. Well, now they've reached out back to me, and now we're reuniting friendships. And there's one of the guys that actually has a construction company, where he's trying to get jobs for ex-soldiers. So I think it's a fantastic initiative, and I'll see what I can do to facilitate helping his company as well as helping soldiers out.
That sounds great. You should see if he'll join me to have a chat on my channel.
That'd be interesting.
We could have a chat about.
That'd sound good. And you know what? They were lovely people. They looked after me.
Yeah.
He was you get soulmates. You can have a soulmate as a friend as well. Yeah, he was like that. He's just had an operation on his foot, and now he's got that elevated, and he's in more pain than he could possibly believe, because he forgot that your toe and your ankle is the metaphorical roundabout for the blood that leaves your heart and turns around and comes back with force. So when you've got something wrong with your foot, and you'll know this one day with a sprained ankle, with a smoked ankle or ingrown toenails, it can be the most pain in the world when you put your foot down to go to the toilet.
Yep. I'm pretty fortunate. I've not really had a lot of problems with my feet.
Yeah.
But then again, I wasn't in any sort of defence force.
My feet are clean because they're always in my mouth.
Oh, good grief.
You know that saying? Putting your foot in your mouth?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I think you're very eloquent.
Sometimes. What else we got for some random questions from the fantastic people? Let's give you... what's the time now? It's 8:15. Let's speak for 10 more minutes.
Okay. We have a few half Kiwis.
Okay.
And I said that counts. Wakey was is half Kiwi, and then we've got Rex Colt says he's half Maori. My great uncle served in the 28th Maori Battalion. A lot of my cousins' uncles are currently serving in the NZDF. 10 plus years now. Awesome.
There you go, mate. I was in the South Island, and that was in the Burnham camp. I was there just before the Queenstown earthquake, because I used to live in Queenstown on any time off the backpackers hostel, But the funny thing is, only a couple of kilometres up from the base at Burnham is the Rolly pub. Okay, and it's like something out of Once Were Warriors, I tell you, because between you and Christchurch, the army base, is the jail. So when people leave the jail, the first place they go to is the place with the lights on and the door open, and that's the first pub. So, it's a very colourful location. And when I was there, it was very interesting that there were some New Zealand soldiers that were actually drinking uniform at the pub, and I thought, what's wrong with that? If you're proud of it, and you're just having a couple of beers and then going home, I reckon it'd be good if our uniform members could go there. What a recruiting tool would that be if, g'day Fire Russian, that's her name. Hey Vermont, how you going, mate? If you looked up and saw a military guy sitting there, not being a dickhead, telling a fantastic story and laughing like a hyena and shouting the bar, and you go over and he goes, mate, just got back from overseas. Oh, good on you. We'll buy you one back, and just hear some yarns, and then people go, maybe that's what I want to do.
Yeah, maybe. Here's a name I've never seen before. Multi-Warhammer Warhammer 40k, which I happen to really like.
Yeah.
There's best field craft advance ? I don't know what that means.
What? Can you please say that one again? That question.
Yeah, best field craft advanced ?
Advance or advice?
He may have meant advice.
Fieldcraft, mate. I'd say take an umbrella. At the end of the day,
Absolutely.
travel as light as you possibly can, but make sure you take an umbrella because your body starts deteriorating from the second you go out there. You're not going to have enough food. You're going to be replacing meals with water. You're going to be always fatigued or freezing cold. So the best thing you can try and do is at least have some shelter, whether it be from the sun or whether it be from the rain. Good moisture. Okay, now they've got these bands that you can buy that are anti-mosquito as well, that I believe are non-scented, which give you 2 or 3 meters of protection from the mosquito. Don't set up a hoochie unless you have to. I never took my boots off at night. Take a fry pan out, cook that way, get a jet boil. It sounds like it's expensive. It's worth every cent. What else? Yeah. There's no easy way around it. The best shovel's always going to be an entrenching tool, even if it does make your hands feel like you've got the crown of thorns of Christ, buddy, on your palms.
Yeah, exactly. Barra has a question here that probably would be best answered in one of my upcoming streams.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to know, does the ADF testing experimental chemicals and vaccines administered to personnel without their consent? Well, never without their consent, but it is a grey area, and I every Wednesday have an ex-ADF major who knows an awful lot about that, and we will be covering that in the next couple of weeks.
And a lot of the times, mate, we're in a country that has real diseases, not like Australia, where there's Ebola, where there's cholera, where there's leptospirosis, where there's micro snails that kill you from the inside out, whether there's malaria.
Exactly, there is a need for vaccinations and things like that.
Smallpox.
Totally different kettle of fish, but we will be talking about that in the next. I think actually this Wednesday we were going to touch on that. What have we got here? We've got Steve Bryce says, I've got a question. Dog gave me little blue pills that make me uncomfortable when walking down the street. How can I keep pussers away from me?
Just hang your briefcase off it, mate. Here's one for you from a medical point of view.
Okay.
When we went to leave, we went to Kenya when we were in Rwanda, and I remember there was a particular soldier. I do remember his name, and I remember that he was in the boozer one day in Kigali where we were, and he was crying.
Oh.
And I was like, "What's going on?" Because this guy's bigger than me, taller than me. He had more rank than me. He was a nice guy, and he was crying. And we're like, "What's going on, mate?" And he was just distraught, because he had slept with a hooker in Kigali, not in Kigali, in Kenya, and they said, "Mate, all of those girls got AIDS," and he was so scared that he wouldn't go and get tested because he thought, "I've definitely got AIDS. I've definitely got AIDS. My life is over. I'm dying." He'd even considered killing himself because he was convinced himself that he got AIDS. So.
Oh God.
But he didn't. He got tested. He didn't have it. But don't be so stupid when you hit the piss in a third world country to think I'll take a chance on something.
Indeed.
Silly.
G'day, Rob Wall.
Hey, Rob Wool. Wool is something that I don't mind if I find in my Mongolian lamb, but I don't expect to see broccoli or cauliflower.
You are really anti-veg. You're like an anti-vegan.
One of our friends is a vegan now, I think. I don't even know what my thoughts are on that. Was that a subscriber just then?
I don't know. I didn't see anything.
I'm sorry if someone just came in and subscribed. I just didn't see that come up. I heard it.
Sorry, I didn't see anything. There it is. XC Gamer 911 XC Gamer just subscribed. Welcome.
Ask
What a name.
ask a question, please, mate. You're more than welcome.
Say good day in the comments. We do love it when you have a chat. It's okay to lurk though. If you just want to be a lurker, you be a lurker. But we do love to see you say good day sometimes.
If you come from New Guinea, not New Guinea, from New York or Boston,
Yeah,
can you be a lurker or are you a loiker?
a loiker with the garbage.
Yeah, with the garbage.
Let's try and get 100 thumbs up, folks. We only need 4 more. So let's try and get 100 thumbs up just to tell Thumbs Down Guy what we think of him.
Is that like talking dirty to Ivan Milat? We're going to get 100 thumbs up. He's going, oh.
Yeah, come on now. No, too far. You've got to go. That is actually my original house in the background there, Kaz, with the nice little begonia pergola.
It is. And is that a Triffid that's closest to us?
Yeah,
That was Stoddy. Seeing Stoddy get the hell out of town down there. The Australian hype to subscribe. There you go. There you go, the zombie. Hopefully that was the headache running out of my soul.
Yeah, they're going to blow up my house in a minute. I know it.
There's Joshy Fawn throwing 4 thumbs as opposed to Eats and bloody Carl throwing their goddamn triple krakens. And
Yep.
Daz, add a thumb to that, sir.
Oh, welcome the Australian Hype. Good on you. I'm glad you've subscribed. You really are part of the team here, and do keep us updated on how you go. Take that opportunity. You know, you just be as good as everybody else once you're there, okay?
Look at me making a thumbnail here.
What?
To make a thumbnail, all you do is get on camera, look at it, and then hold the pose for a second.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on up here will be where the writing goes, in that neutral space.
My house getting blown up.
In the middle of the street.
Oh, we cracked 100. We've got like 106 now. Thanks, guys. Awesome.
Fantastic, team. Thank you for that.
That's great. Mr. Arnott says, I'm joining the Armoured Vehicle crew in a month. Any clue on what it's like? You need to go in the book, Mr. Arnott, if you've got a date.
Is that Army Reserve or regular Army, mate? Just so we put it in there with a round A.
Yeah. Let us know the date, Mr. Arnott.
Well, you've got an Armoured Corps guru there, swinging, fighting the turret with Swar,
Yeah, exactly.
who spent his entire career, one, trying to learn off me, but 2, being one of the best tank commanders in Australia.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're really welcome here, Australian Hype.
Yep.
It was a good question. We gave you an honest answer, and you appreciate it. And we'd be really interested in watching your journey.
Yeah.
You got a good attitude.
The hardest thing about this channel is every time you think, oh, this channel should be bigger, you remember that the channel is so successful that the people that come here normally are shaking their head at the people that are in Kapooka beside them who didn't find out about the channel, who didn't do the research before they went. And there's nothing you can do to be the safety net for them to prevent them from falling on their own sword, metaphorically, and we lose nearly 10 people a platoon, as they go through Kapooka because they weren't prepared mentally or physically.
Yes, indeed.
It's sad because if they'd come to this channel like everyone else and spent some time, they would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, we need to put Pierre in the book.
Yes, Pierre.
Yeah, because I've just finished my interview on PFA, leaving for Kapooka on the 28th
Of
this month, I imagine.
28th of June. You might be the first person we've got for the 28th. And this is Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre.
You gotta have an accent with that one, Pierre.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want you to wear a beret. When they go, what are you wearing that for? Go, because I'm Pierre.
Because my name's Pierre.
So that's a good reason to go to Armoured Corps too, because they love their berets, but OH&S wants to take it off them. Guys and gals, we're going to get out of here so I can go and ring my little girl. She has the power over me. Lauren's house is disappearing as we speak.
Go, exactly. I know, there's little men of just running in and out of it.
Yeah, guys, we're hoping to put out a whole bunch of videos about 10 or 15 minutes long in the next 2 weeks. So enjoy those. They're not always going to be about military, but they'll always be interesting. That's one thing I can give you, and they'll always be edited and we really appreciate you filling our concept boards of the topics that you need to know about. And if we're going to say goodbye to anyone tonight, let's say goodbye on behalf of Stevie Bryce to Herbie, the working dog that was killed in Afghanistan. And with Snowy Jacob Morland, with Darren Smith. Lest we forget to you guys, we've mentioned your names, which means we've dared to remember. And Lauren, if you'd like to quickly give your channel some hype, because we're on again at 9:30 tomorrow morning as Lauren. Then
Yep,
if you
tomorrow
can do that
morning.
now.
Yep, tomorrow morning we're talking about something. We're going to go through some Aussie memes and have a laugh with each other about it. We love a bit of Australiana over there. Then, like I said, on Wednesday I'll have ex-ADF Major Stuart McCarthy joining me, and we will be talking about some drug trials. And then I've got some really bad inventions we'll be talking about on Thursday. And then on Friday I was going to give you an art tour of some of my body of work.
Not of her body.
Hey?
But not of your body.
Not of my body, no. I'll keep that precious. But yeah, it'd be great to see you all there. And thank you very much, Kaz, for all the help. And it's nice to see. It's funny to come to my channel and see Kaz just as Joe Blow in the comments. You should come on over there. It's great. And good night, everyone. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, members. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the lurkers who jumped in and said g'day, and hello to the lurkers who haven't yet said g'day. And we'll see you all at the next stream.
This is your channel.